So again, question says find the volume. So the first thing I would do, since I need to find the volume, is take the time to write out the formula. And then in this question, we need to find the volume, we need the radius. I read through the question. Do we have the radius? No. We have the circumference. We know that the circumference is 26 inches. Do we have a circumference formula that also has radius in it? So there's the relationship between the circumference and the radius. So now that we have that one, we can say, I need the radius over here on the volume formula. Can I plug in things here? Yes, I know 26 for the circumference. And 2 pi is a number. So how would I get r by itself? I'm going to have to divide, right? Divide by 2 pi. Now here, I want you to try this on your calculator. I'm going to write down 2 answers. Of course, one of them will be right and one of them will be wrong. And I want to make sure that you get one of those 2 answers. Okay. The smaller of the 2 answers is 4.138 ... And the bigger of the 2 answers is 40.84. Okay. Did you get one of those 2 answers? Everybody get one of those 2 answers? Because if you got another answer that's different than those 2, then you're making another mistake, so I would like to see what you did. But did everybody get either one of those 2 answers? If you got the smaller one, lift your left hand. If you got the bigger one, lift your right hand. Quick show of hands. Everybody should put up hand. Good. I'm seeing different hands up. So put them down. There are about half and half. It's a very easy mistake to make on your calculator. You will never make this mistake if you actually use the fraction button. Remember that fraction button that I showed you yesterday? If you have a TI-84, you can go alpha, F1, push enter to get a fraction. And if we would write 26 on the top and 2 pi on the bottom, 4.13, it is the smaller one. So did anybody use the fraction button? Show. Okay. So you used the fraction button, you didn't make a mistake, right? You got the 4.13, not 31. Okay? What happens when we don't use the fraction button? For those of you that made a mistake, this is what you typed. You typed 26 because that's what we had. You typed divide because that's what you had. And then you typed 2 pi because that's what we had. And why does this give us a wrong answer? Dawson? It's going to do an order of operations. It's going to divide the 26 by 2 and then get 13. And then it says, what's next? Times by pi. So this, 26 divided by 2 pi, is the same as 26 divided by 2 times by pi, and that puts the pi up on the top instead of on the bottom. So if you don't have a calculator that allows you to put things in fraction form, you have to remember that whenever you are putting things into your calculator and you have more than one thing either on the top or on the bottom. Now here 26 is one number. We only have one thing on the top. But we have 2 times pi on the bottom. So you would have to put that in brackets if you weren't going to use the fraction thing, to tell your calculator that both the 2 and the pi are in the bottom of our fraction. So when I go back to my calculator here, I could have done 26 divided by bracket 2 pi, and then we would have got the right answer as well. So better that you make the mistake while we're doing our notes than make it on a quiz or on a test. So let's put an X through this one. The radius is 4.138. And now we can go to our volume question. So here on the fraction, do we have more than one thing on the top or on the bottom? No. So here it's going to be okay if I do 4 divided by 3 times pi times, and then the radius needs to be cubed. I have my radius as my answer from before, so I can go second answer to get it up. And then it needs to be cubed to the power 3. And push enter, 296.8. Squiggle brackets, inches